Hello everybody, I'm Robert Zone from Value Electronics in Scarsdale, New York. We're authorized nationwide e-commerce retailer and a retail showroom, and we're custom integrators. And today we are very proud to announce that LG was very generous and very kind to us to provide the very first shipment of the new 2022 C2 series OLED televisions. We have them now in stock in 55-inch, 65-inch, and 77-inch, and we have them in stock at 5 warehouses across America. So everyone gets the TV shipped from the closest warehouse to their home, unless you're local to us in the tri-state New York area, and then you'll meet our techs and we'll deliver it. Today we're going to unbox the C2. There's quite a few significant changes to the panel this year. LG Display, LG Electronics sister company, who's the exclusive manufacturer of WRGB OLED, has upgraded the video processor. So now it's an A9 Gen 5 processor. What's happened with the A9 Gen 5 is it's got a lot more memory, it's got a lot more power, it's more powerful. And they're using that memory because with a 10-bit signal, we have 1,096 steps of illumination. And they wanted to spend more time on the detail of each luminance level of color and contrast. So the processor is looking at each one of the 1,096 steps of illumination for every frame. And it's applying its new tone mapping algorithms. It's applying its new deep, rich detail in the low luminance black area. And it's spending a lot of time on sending the red, green, and blue pixels to increase the color, to increase the peak lumens and maintain color volume. That's just some of the changes in the new processor. The audio system has been upgraded significantly as well, as is the chassis and frame of the TV. The power supply is larger. They did change the way it does the panel refreshing, and that's because LG Display, the sister company, has a whole new OLED module this year. The OLED subpixels are larger, so they can produce more light. This panel is 20% brighter naturally. It is also significantly more energy efficient. It draws less current. It generates a lot less heat, and it's 20% brighter this year, without any heat sink or any other manipulations. It's not only the EVO panel, but it's also been enabled in the software like they did last year on the G1 to extend the peak lumens. So this TV, we're going to measure it more carefully, puts out a very similar peak lumens to what a Panasonic OLED with heatsink and what Sony's OLED with heatsink would do. So that's going to naturally produce that with a very cool running efficient panel. The other advantage is that LG Display built into this, so it has larger subpixels, so it can deliver a higher peak lumens with drawing less energy and much better color saturation and color volume. This is a noticeable enhancement for this year, and I'm excited to open this up for the first time and to have one in our hands. I've seen them many times at private events with LG, but this is the first time that I'll be seeing mass production and seeing them in our own store. And we'll be able to do a more thorough evaluation, so please check back again when we give you more of the specifications of peak and minimum luminance, input lag time, color accuracy out of the box, and how they calibrate. So we're going to be producing all the technical specifications and testing and evaluating against a C1, an A90J, A95K, the Samsung S95B, QD OLED. We're going to be comparing and putting this TV right next to it. So without further ado, I think we should crack this guy open and start setting it up.
So screw on the bottom, which has the base on the other side, the C2 this year. has a much smaller stand, where the old C1 had the blade all the way across, and then turning it over, that's the LG blade, and then it goes face down on the panel, and then we put the 4 screws in. Much smaller, lighter, which will make the panel look larger. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So for inputs, we get the IR input, coax input, RS-232, optical out, LAN connection, 4 HDMI 2.1 compliant inputs, 2 USBs, and then a 3rd USB in as well. So 3 USB ins in total. Now that we got the setup done, you can see that we get a brand new home screen. The UI is totally changed. This looks very much like Android TV that Sony uses. But here we'll get you a list of recommended apps. The menu's still pretty snappy. We don't get that bar that pops up at the bottom anymore. But let's go ahead, hop into the settings, see what kind of options we get really quick. Alright, under picture mode, let's check out the settings. Vivid, standard, auto power savings, cinema, sports, filmmaker mode, ISF expert, ISF expert dark. I'm just gonna go ahead and just keep this on standard. Let's back out of this. Got different aspect ratios, 16:9, original 4:3, vertical zoom, or 4-way zoom. So if you want to get rid of some black bars, you can go this route if you want to do that. Let's back out of this. Let's go under advanced settings. Got brightness, color, clarity, apply to all inputs, reset, filmmaker mode, auto, reduce blue light, save your vision. And under sound, we've got AI Sound Pro, Standard Cinema, Clear Voice Sports, Music, Game Optimizer. For sound output, we've got use the TV speaker, use wired speaker, use wireless speaker, use external speakers via optical out, plus the TV speakers. Under advanced settings, we've got Dolby Atmos, balance, apply to all inputs, and installation type, we've got stand or wall mounted. That'll change the EQ of the sound depending on how you have the television mounted. And automatic volume adjustment, match screen and sound, which is television speaker delay, or you can bypass. And under general, we've got always ready. When the TV is turned off, it switches to the always ready mode, which will provide an optimized wallpaper, voice recognition, and mobile device music playback. So if you want to keep that on, your TV will always be ready to go. AI service, OLED care. For care picture settings, we have off, comfort mode, theater mode, kids care mode. Device self-care. Got the memory optimizer. So this function optimizes TV status by deleting unused apps or unnecessary memories. We've got screen self-diagnostics. We've got sound self-diagnostics here. So play test tone. And last step, we've got energy savings mode, which will keep your television nice and dim, so it saves on your electric bill. Which we're not going to use any of that stuff. Under OLED panel care, we've got pixel cleaning, screen move, adjust logo brightness, care recommendation options. Under family settings, you've got some parental controls here. If you got some children that are watching too much TV, got channels, devices, for network devices, network settings, system settings, got language, location, timer, safety, LG count, additional settings, and reset settings. And then under accessibilities, you get all your accessibility stuff here. And lastly, we got support. If you want to check for software updates, which we did, and there are none. User guide, quick help, and lastly, privacy and terms.
So here we'll go through the presets while we're in HDR. So you get your standard, cinema. Look how clear that is.
Yeah, I know, it's beautiful.
Cinema is your optimizer. Filmmaker mode.
That looks nice too. I would have thought it would have been dimmer.
That's still, yeah, it's still pretty bright.
Yeah.
Filmmaker mode is actually pretty bright.
Yeah, it is. I'm surprised it is, though. I didn't think it normally would.
I don't know why they put game mode there, but it's just as bright as cinema, don't you think?
Yeah, but all the processing is shut off to speed up the input lag time. ISF expert day and night is
Really
good.
vivid, man. Wow.
That's crazy, huh?
That is nice.
It sure has a lot of punch to it, huh?
Jesus.
Vivid is crazy good, huh? That's so great.
Wow, that's actually very bright.
Yeah. Well, this is the new brighter panel.
Quick thoughts and impressions on the LG C2 77-inch. Robert, how'd you feel about it?
Well, I guess if I tried to put it just in a few words, I would say stunning and beautiful and awesome. That would be a few words that I can say, but what we see, what I think I see, is an appreciable increase in peak lumens, a little more detail in the image. I think that we're seeing a little bit of color as well, and color saturation and color volume. And we didn't try much of the audio, but the audio is enhanced as well. There's a lot of new features in the menu, so you got to get very used to the new operating system. And I agree, it looks like the Android operating system very much.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll pass this to Brian.
Yeah. What do you think, Brian?
I was very impressed with it. I have the C1 83-inch at home, so I know the panel pretty well. Even from the menus, we'd all had commented that it seemed much more vibrant and punchy out of the box. The demo material that we ran, that'll be in Shane's video, we know those demos inside and out, especially the Spears and Munsell. It does seem brighter. It is the 77-inch, but I have the 83, and it does seem like it's brighter. And it does seem a little more detailed as well. Again, a lot of the Stacy Spears stuff that we went through just seemed like it had more of that just cleanliness to it. So I'm very happy with it. And the color seems to pop more. And we did check the color depth, and it's not different than the C1s. It just looks like it has more vibrancy and more pop and more detail.
I would agree. You guys are more TV experts than I am, but I did play a couple of demos. I did play the Dolby Vision demo against some of the different variables and nits. I think the one that looked closest to the Dolby Vision would be the 1000 nit demo. Everything above that seemed to start clipping a little bit hard, so I think maybe the tone mapping could use maybe a little bit of help, but otherwise, I mean, we're talking about 2000 nits and above, up to 10,000 nits.
But the ABL, I would say the ABL, we had paused, I forgot to say this, Shane, we paused, Robert, the white horse demo, and we waited for it to kick in, didn't see any really ABL or ABSL come in.
Yeah, I didn't see it dim at all.
And that's a combination of the new LG display OLED module and a new power supply that has more watts capability. So that's the reason why the ABL is reduced greatly, which is a good thing.
And also the stand, as you'll see in the unboxing, but the panel is a lot lighter.
Yes, it is.
I mean, the whole panel itself is much lighter.
Yeah. The stand and the TV itself is much lighter.
It feels easy to move around.
And we didn't spend much time with the new remote, but it has 6 dedicated, discrete buttons for your favorite apps. It's a little nicer, it's a little smaller, it feels ergonomically very friendly in your hand. So all in all, a very nice upgrade year.
And this has all the same gaming features as last year's?
It's got the optimizer, a lot of that's the same. We'll deep dive into that with the PS5, Series X, and the PC, but it seems to have the same. We won't know until we hook up a console. Unfortunately, I didn't bring my console today. But I'm fairly certain the presets are all fairly similar, but we'll see gaming on it. Yeah.
And I couldn't stop Brian. He has to take one home tonight.
So I'm taking one, taking one home. So 55-inch we'll do more thorough, and Shane will follow up on a video on that too.
Very good.
For the gaming.
Very good.
So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. These TVs are in stock, right, Robert?
Yes, they are.
So if you guys want to order it, go to valueelectronics.com, subscribe to Brian as well, and be sure to check back next week where we're going to have the G2.
That's correct.
As well.
And real quickly, we are now shipping from 4 different warehouses across America, 55, 65, and 77 C2s. Starting with Monday, this coming Monday, just a few days from now, we're going to start shipping 77 G2s. And a week later, we're going to have 83-inch and 48-inch C2s. And so things are happening very quickly. Also, towards the middle of July, I'm going to have a Z2 here in our store. And we're going to have the 97-inch G2 as well in July in our store. And we will again, as LG was so kind to us, be the very first person to get our hands on these.
And we will compare the C2 to the G2
Yes, we will.
next week.
Yes, thank you. Absolutely, yes.
And we'll do that here.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you again in the next video.
Take care.
Take care. Thank you.